Hello, my beautiful fountain friends. Welcome to Creepy Nibs. I'm the Countess, and here is part 2 of today's Creepy Nibs double feature. And this is the good news. Yay! We like. Oops! Don't hit the tripod. Bad idea. 2 days ink. It's Ferris wheel press. Beaver Dam Brown. The little cute little beavers. I always love looking at their boxes and find hidden things. Apparently, there's like a kitty on all of them. Don't know where the kitty is. Secret cat. Found it! Sorry. I didn't mean to scream. I was just really excited. There we go. Nice box. Here's the bottle that I have it in. It's one of their 38ml kind of pocket watch bottles. Filled everything from a sample because that's what I like to do. I don't usually like going directly into bottles if I don't have to. There you go. Cool stuff. Thank you, Ferris Wheel Press, for sending this to me back in 2 years ago. So yeah, let's get right into comparisons. Like this brown. This is very deep, rich, cool, purpley brown. Starting to see some sheen. You don't get a whole lot of that in the writing, as we will see later, but it's there. It exists as like a metallic brown sheen. Really, really nice. I don't have a whole lot of similar inks, so these comparisons are not going to be as, duplicationary. Is that a word? Can I say that? But the first thing that I thought of when I was using it was Diamond Chocolate Brown, but it is nowhere near as cool. I still think this is kind of a cooler brown, but it's not. Go over there. We'll get to you later. But yeah, so my memory of chocolate brown was relatively inaccurate. So it's a lot warmer. Not as much purple. It's still kind of got like a haze of sheen, so that's kind of dope. And here's Diamine's Deep Dark Brown, which actually kind of looks deep and dark on the card, but usually in the writing it's just brown. And neither deep nor dark, as Amanda B has stated on several occasions. This one also has some sheen. It's like a kind of like a green-black sheen. It's pretty interesting. In case you have one of those too, want to know what the other one looks like. Here we go. Here's Monteverde Moonstone, which is also pretty. It's on the cooler side of brown. In the swatch at least, but in the writing it looks kind of warm. Yeah, I wish I had more to describe this with, but I unfortunately do not. There's not a whole lot the same in any of these. Here's Bungbox Tortoiseshell Brown, which I thought was going to be similar. I have no idea why I pulled this card, because they are nothing alike in any way, shape, or form. Oops. And then here's Stipula Calamo Dark Gray, which is certainly more gray, not as brown, but for some reason, something about it jumped out at me as being remotely similar to compare it to, and that was dumb, because this is gray and this is brown. Except this is a very brownish gray. You're not seeing as much of the brown on camera. It's got like that purple kind of undertone to it. But yeah, so Beaver Dam Brown. It's pretty unique in my collection. I don't have a whole lot like it. I think this might be my favorite brown that I have used so far. So kudos to that. I had a very pleasant experience writing with this. Let us look at the chromatography. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. Okay, here's the normal one. It's the one I let dry. Goes up, just gray. Just gray, just solid, like cool gray. And it explodes into like this red and this really dark blue at the top. So this is where that purple comes from. Really cool. There's rich, really rich, saturated ink. I think Ferris wheel press is at their best when they're doing really rich, saturated stuff like this and Candy Marsala, Tanzanite Sky. Really like them. Really like them. I wish they'd do more stuff like this now, but they're on that shimmer kick. Then here's this one, dot at the bottom, way darker. Really stuck around there, but it does the same kind of thing, except there's this little border of pink, like a pinky purple, in between the red and the gray. It goes again into that blue. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool chromatography. Here is the bleach test. It turned gray. Like that gray in the chromatography. That's what stuck around. That stayed there in the page. But then where it's thinnest, bleach completely obliterated it. These are drops of water, not bleach, so that's what that does. And there's more lines of bleach. Look at that awesome gradient of gray to white. Really cool, really cool. I have no idea. Maybe I just like irritated the paper or something like that there. I think I just like smeared it a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of feathering there, but I think the tape damages this watercolor paper around the borders for some reason. I don't know why. It's probably because it's not very good watercolor paper. Interesting reaction. Nice little sticking around doodad. Here's the doodle. I was having a very Diamanda Galás day, so this was supposed to be a portrait of her, but really it looks like me. But yeah, you get so much variation. This is pretty much clean watercolor paper here, but it's basically purple. It's like a brownie purple. Deep there. I don't know what color to call it. It looks very purple. Very purple. Well, here, you see the brown there. It's like mostly just ink. But where it mixes with the water, it turns those really purple and like gray. A little bit of that blue that comes out in the chromatography there. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Look at that. It gradiates nice. I suck at drawing hair. This just looks like a blob, but, you know. A little bit of variation there. Is that some sheen? That's some sheen. Hell yeah. But yeah, I greatly enjoy this for artistic purposes. If you want a brown, maybe this is not what you want. But if you want this, like, kind of muted, cool, purpley kind of color, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Pens used. All right, I used my palette Prera with a fine nib. This was an excellent experience. Love this nib with this ink. Yeah. And apparently my crack is capped. My cap is cracked, but it's still, I don't know, it doesn't seem to affect the performance of the pen at all. But I've used this thing, and I've used this thing for quite a while. Still love it. Nib is stupendous. Stupendous. Absolutely amazing. This is the Wingsung 3003. It's kind of like a little cousin to the Prera. It's a nice smooth cap mechanism. Not as like silky and satisfying as this one, but hey, it does the thing. I painted this one because it doesn't come in black. This is what it looks like. normally. And this one's got the medium nib of Pilot Metro on it, because I don't like writing with the Metro, but I love the nib. So yeah, that's cool. I wish Prera came in all black like this. That look fucking exactly like. Anyway, and this is the PENBBS 480 Mnemosyne Yovo broad nib, very juicy, very wet, very nice. Though while I was using it, I was like, this section seems thick, like skinnier than normal, but maybe it's just because I don't know. It was hitting me weird yesterday, something like that. But yeah, cool stuff. Super wet, super saturated, kind of like, it's got kind of a viscosity to it. Really kind of like glides across the paper. I thought I was going to lose control a few times, but whatever. That is the thing. Here are the paper tests. Now, I would like to preface before I go through this, I didn't realize until like halfway through that I'm like, using this as the writing sample is going to make people think I'm such a fucking edgelord. But I'm not. Charles Baudelaire is just a great poet, and Diamanda Galás' performance of the Litanies of Satan is breathtaking in all ways and forms. You've never heard of her. She's very weird, very dark, very incredible, absolutely stupendously skilled performer. Check her out. She's super dope. Clairefontaine, 90 grams per square meter. Look at that. Look at that. It's so deep. It's like an almost black in that fine nib, and then in the medium nib too, but you could tell it's not. It is very much brown. It looks like, I don't know, it's just something about this just like hit right. I was like, yes. Yes. Lines look real nice. Nice and crisp. Real smooth. Glides across. This was tasty. This was scrumptious. This was delicious writing. It doesn't like, I don't know, it's not like a super shader, but you do get some really nice shading in that. That brown to almost black. Ugh, this is really good. This is really good. You can see that. See, it's almost black there, but then here you can especially tell it is definitely brown. It took 11 seconds to dry in the fine, 19 in the medium, 36 in the broad. Look at that smear! It just goes. That was dope. I missed a few times when I was trying to do the smears, so they're not as perfect as they could be, or as instantaneous. But you know, dry times I was expecting way longer, but alas, I did not have to worry about that. So there's this watch. You get a little variation. You get a kind of haze of sheen, almost barely perceptible. Like especially look here. Water test kind of blew it up a little bit, but it stuck around. We dyed the page a little bit. There's a lot of, I don't know, this ink's pretty saturated, so it's got some color to move around. And that color certainly moved around, fuzzed out quite a bit. Add a little bit of the page. But you know what? Worth it. And even all of this near ghosting is worth it. So looking like there. It's really dark, really saturated, so it's, you know, it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make for such an excellent experience on the other side. Maruman Mnemosyne, 8 grams per square meter. This was also incredible. Oh, this felt so nice and smooth and delicious. Scrumdiddlyumptious. It's brown. Oh, look at that brown. Can I turn that down a little bit? There we go. Oh. So I guess here is where it reminded me more of that tortoiseshell. For some reason. Look at that, look at that. Look at that nice little bit of shading there. But like, oh, that color. This color is so good. It's so good. It's so rich. I want to sink my teeth into it. Slurp it up like a bowl of noodles. Look at that gradient. That's so nice. Maybe a little bit of feathering there. That's kind of an issue. But that might be a paper thing. It took 9 seconds. 9, not 19. That's a 9. 9 seconds in the fine, 20 in the medium, 58 in the broad. I don't know what was going on there, but, you know. And there's where I missed on the swiping. I had to go over again. And then I did it again. But yeah, water, it blew up. It's still there. You could certainly recover it. But it's purple now. There we go, all that gray stuck behind. And on the back, little attempt at ghosting there. But that's darking, broad nib, you know, it's gonna do that. Well, why are you trying to focus on things that aren't there? You jerk. That's just a drop of ink that was on this side. It's not coming through from the Le Fond. Rhodia. 80 gram. It's not too bad. Not the biggest fan of Rhodia on the best of days, but it could certainly be worse. I think this Rhodia just seems more textured than I'm used to. I don't know. But these are the samples that I have cut. You still see all that rich color. Kind of takes some of the brown out of the Prera, but still nice. It's still nice. You need like an almost black that's a brown. You know, you want to spice it up a little bit, fool your friends. It's kind of, I don't know, this Prera fine seems kind of wet most of the time. Maybe it's just the ink that's really complementing it today. Shading in the broad. But yeah. Hell yeah. It looks super dark in that medium here. And then again, that broad really shows off the color. Look at that. Look at that. Again, took 9 seconds in the fine, 24 in the medium, and 29 in the broad. It just goes. And there's another one I missed. I went over twice. That splotch, the swatch looks a little blotchy. On these parts, for some reason. I think that is a paper problem, not an ink problem. That super drag there, and get a line over there. Yes, water test again made it a little purpley explodey. But yep, still stuck around, of course. Absolutely recoverable. And here we seem to get more ghosting than we did on the other papers. It's not like bad, but it's there. It's something to be aware of. Still, of course, worth it. Here's the Tomoe River Cream, 68 gram. This one was, this was really good. Let's, all right, we'll compare the two. Once, let's go with this one. This one really, really deepened up that brown. There we go. You can see it there. But otherwise, it looks. Yeah, if you told me this was like a black, I'd be like, you know what? I can see that. I get it. But it's not. Really, really dark brown. This is the real deep dark brown. Yeah, even that broad kind of like sucked some of the color out. You're not, there we go. That looks a bit closer to real life. So like, hey, it's pretty dope. 12 seconds in the fine, 24 in the medium, 32 in the broad. I kept expecting way longer dry times because of how like thick this ink seems. But it really, yeah, it was pretty great. And I think, can I get any of it? See that little bit of sheen in the scrubby there? There's some little halos of brown sheen in the swatch. Really deepened up, got purple in that part. Smear down to this nice brown. Water test, it looks so crisp underneath this like little splotch. So that's pretty cool. It's not gonna like take it away, but it's gonna alter it a bit. This is not perfection, of course. There's a lot of ink in this ink, really inky ink. Sometimes I'm gonna say ink, I'm gonna say ink again, ink. Yeah, cool stuff. And on the back, I was totally expecting some more ghosting in this, but get some there. It's really not bad. Here's the white. You get some sheen in the writing in this one. I don't want to say it's like imperceptible, but it's just like that little kiss. It's a little kiss of sheen. See, around the broad there and that medium. I get a little haze of it, even in the fine. So that was interesting. Oh, look at that. Oh, so juicy. Hazes of it all over the broad. There's halos around it. You know what I mean. Like, hey, this ink really suits this paper. I don't know, something about seeing an ink this color written on like this skinny crinkle paper. It strikes something in me that is indescribable. And look at that sheen. That's dope. That's super dope. Nice color really coming through in the broad. Hell yeah. Look at that sheen. That's awesome. The haze of it all over that fine. Look at that. It only took 12 seconds to dry, and then 28 in the medium, 37 in the broad. Look at all of that sheen. Look at all of that sheen. Sheen in every scrubby. Sheen all over the swatch. That's so pretty. It's so pretty. Water test didn't do nearly as well as it did on the 68. But like, of course, still readable. Dyed the page quite a bit more. But like, whatever. I don't care. This ink is fucking amazing. It got kind of ghosty. Like, it got pretty ghosty. But this is 52 gram Tomoe River and the very dark ink. You know, it's gonna do that. Still super worth a little bit of a lead in that swatch. But I was like really laying it on. When I saw that it could sheen, I'm like, let me get it. I want it. And I got it. Here is the HP Premium Laserjet 32 pound. It does that like fuzzy thing that this paper likes to do. But it honestly wasn't really upsetting to do this paper test. It worked out quite nicely. You still see some of that color. Again, you still, it's like barely there in the fine, but it's there. You don't get any sheen. You don't get a whole lot of shading either. This one kind of goes from dark to light to dark again, but not really. Took 7 seconds in the fine, 11 seconds in the medium, 16 in the broad. Yeah, swatch, nothing too crazy either. Watergel, like, really kind of fuzzed it out a little bit more than it did on the other ones, but the remaining bits are darker. And like a pink around there, like, yo, hello, I see you, that's cute. And on the back, oh, it really pushed that, it looks like blood. I think that's a me thing. Yeah, I got the paper wet there. So water pushes it through to turn to like a red color. That's a thing. Yeah, didn't do like ghosty shit. Like an attempt here. That's it. Really thick paper. Usually it doesn't do that, but as we have discovered. Here's the shitty 20-pound copy paper. No. 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 Bad. Bad juju. But this paper is actually cursed. So, you know, it's going to do that. Feathered, it's spread like the plague. But this is a good plague. Usually, this is not the setting for this kind of plague, however. Look at all of that feathering all over the place. I don't even know why I tried to do the broad on this paper. It just can't read it. every line is way too thick. How dramatic that difference is. Really, no. If you have to use shitty copy paper, maybe this is not the ink for you. But like that swatch looks gross. It took less than a second in the fine and the medium, but I was able to get a smear out of the broad, and that took 2 seconds. The water test is the worst thing. Like, what? I mean, it kind of looks pretty, but that is not, that's not what you want on your notes if you get them wet. Look at that, just an explosion. Bloomed like a goddamn flower of hell. Les fleurs du mal. There we go. It was meant to be. Meant to be. And bleed all over the everything. All of the bleed everywhere. All over the place. So much bleed. This ink hemorrhaged through the paper. Surprised I didn't get any dots on the other side. I'll use this as the backer, so I can have some kind of consistency. But like, oops, nope. Threw that way too fast. All of the gross noises. All right. Palette cleanser, Midori MD Cotton. This was great. This writing made me feel so fancy. I have a slightly larger writing sample with the Prera, just because I loved it so much. See that? Like brown all over the place. Super good. Oh, itchy face. Sorry if I was like rubbing the mic there. But yeah, that deep brown. Really consistent. The brown showed through a lot more in that fine on this paper than it does in some of the others. But that color, it did so good. So I keep holding it like vaguely out of focus. The camera doesn't know what it wants to do. It wants to focus on the middle, but there's stuff going on the whole screen. This like paper texture and like the kind of off-white color of it really, really complements this one. Oh, look at that. Yeah. You don't get any of the sheen, except a little line of it in the swatch. Took 8 seconds to dry in the fine, 21 in the medium, and 29 in the broad. That was really good. I, again, expecting longer, but I did not get longer. It's juicy smears. Water test, fuzzed it out, you know, dyed the page, all that thing. Still, of course, legible. So, yep, that's cool. There's that. A little bit of ghostiness trying to happen. Oops. But, as I said before, worthy sacrifice. I will take it. I will take it. This is really, 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 really nice. Really, really, really nice. Is that all of the everything? That might be all of the everything. So, thank you for watching and enjoying if you did both of those things. I'm pretty sure you at least did one. Or listen, some of you like to do things. Oh, Leuchtturm! I forgot the Leuchtturm. Hold up. Really loved it here too. Oh, this is also a paper color that really complements the complements this brown shading in the there part. Not a whole lot, of course, but like so smooth and nice. And I wish they sold this in loose leaf so that I could perhaps have it like normal paper test. But I guess in a notebook, it's a lot more convenient. I can have all of this here at once. It's not going to take up a giant expanding file. Ew, go away. No one likes you. I mean, somebody likes you, but I don't. Actually, I like you on this paper. Never mind. You can stay for now. Took 14 seconds to dry in the fine, 32 in the medium, and 51 in the broad. These were the longest dry times, I believe. If my goldfish memory serves me correctly. Oh no! So that was a thing. I wasn't expecting that. But I was expecting it to look gorgeous, and it does. It looks so pretty. So pretty. So pretty. So, yeah. Okay, that's all the everything. That was fun. I hope you had fun. This was fun. Happy Transgender Awareness Week. Punch Nazis. I love you. Bye.